Imagine leaving your children in someone else's care, trusting they will be safe. Now imagine that trust shattered in the worst possible way. In 1965, a 16-year-old named Sylvia Likens was left in the hands of a woman she barely knew. And over the next 3 months, she endured horrors so unimaginable that when seasoned detectives were shaken to their core, this is the story of Sylvia Likens, a story of cruelty, complicity, and the darkness humans can inflict on each other. Sylvia Likens was a lively, kind hearted 16-year-old who loved her family and cared deeply for her sister Jenny, who had polio. Their parents, traveling with a carnival, needed someone to watch them for the summers and turned to gratitude Barneval, a 37-year-old mother of seven. They believed Sylvia would be safe, but Gertrude had secrets, struggles with poverty, health issues, and smothering anger that would soon find a terrifying outlet. At first, Sylvia's stay seemed pretty much normal, but tension rose when promised payment from her parents were late. Gertrude's frustration quickly became anger. Minor scolding escalated into punishments, and soon Sylvia wasn't just being disciplined, she was being singled out as a scapegoat for Gertrude's frustration. What started as a small act of control turned into a sustained abuse. Over weeks, the punishment became relentless. Her own children's joined in. Paula, John, and Stephen joined in. Neighborhood children were invited to watch or participate. Sylvia was beaten with belts, sticks, and wooden paddles. She was burned with cigarettes and forced in cold baths as punishment. She was starved when others ate, humiliated in front of people, and constantly reminded she was guilty of crimes that never existed. Her younger sister Jenny was forced to watch, terrified and helpless. Each day Sylvia begged for mercy, but outside house the world remained silent. Sylvia was human. She felt fear, shame, hope and despair, and yet no one came to help her. The abuse turned relentless. Sylvia was tied to chairs, left in dark rooms for hours, and forced to write confessions for imaginary crimes. Gertrude made her carve words in her own skin with heated objects. She endured repeated beatings that left her collapsing in pain. Sexual humiliation and threats were used to terrorize her further. Neighbors watched silently, some participated, others silently ignored her suffering. The household became a small closed world of cruelty. Each day the torture kept growing, and still adults who saw did nothing. By October, Sylvia was near death, starved, bruised, and weakened. She whispered to Jenny, I'm going to die, I can tell. On October 26, 1965, she died. The official cause of death was brain swelling, internal injuries, and shock from prolonged abuse. But the real cause was the cruelty and indifference of those around her. When police arrived, Gertrude tried to cover it up. She claimed Sylvia had run away and forced her to write a note claiming the same, but the truth was undeniable. Investigations revealed horrifying events of abuse. This wasn't the act of one disturbed woman, it was family, a neighborhood, a network of neighborhood, completely in cruelty. Gertrude was convicted of first degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Her daughter Paula received second degree murder conviction. Teenagers had servings for only few years. Even Gertrude was paroled after 20 years. The sentence could not undo the suffering and the question that haunts us. How could so many people allow a child to endure such horror without intervention? The Sylvia Lakens led to stronger child protection and mandatory reporting laws, but beyond the law, it remains study of human nature of cruelty, complicity, and silence. Celibate death forces us to ask, how does evil persist? How does indifference become a weapon? She was just 16, a girl who laughed loud and hoped, and her story reminds us that sometimes evil is not what someone does, but what the world allows to happen. Sylvia's story is not just history, it's a warning, a call to notice, to intervene, and to stand against cruelty, no matter how small the action seems. Remember her, remember what happened, and remember being human means standing for vulnerable even when no one else does. In memory of Sylvia Likens, 1949 1965.